Hey guys, it's Jeff here with a video on Viper showing tips and tricks on the map Bind. This video will be cut up into 4 different segments, just a quick intro, attack, defense, and LT placements. So a quick intro as to who I am. I solo queued with Viper only, I placed in Iron 2, and I climbed up to Immortal 1 after queuing for a couple of days. This video was made in closed beta where I finished hitting Immortal 1. And again, this video is just to kind of provide some tips and tricks on what I've used to climb the ranks and what I found effective for me. So stay tuned and hope you enjoy it. Hey y'all, so this first attack is going to be on A site here on the map Bind. What I like to do is you start off from here, and what I like to do is if you look at the mini map, I'll use my lineup over here. This is going to attack short A. So, and the reason, there's a lot of reasonings as to why I like it to do it from here.
Toxins going up.
Is that of course it cuts this entire line of sight in half, so that you can come up short. But more importantly too is if you do it specifically like this, you can see the waves at the top can actually
screen down
off the heaven sight there. So if you do it a variety of different ways, sometimes I've seen it where the wall doesn't actually block the heaven. So again, just that's something to keep in mind for when you're testing these things.
Toxins going up.
So obviously, again, this sets up here. You can have, if you're a one-man team, you can obviously, you know, use your other skills.
Not enough. Not enough fuel.
Toxin
screen down.
Is you'll come over to here, ask the sage to kind of block off, so you can get the plant here short. And that's one attack. Hey guys, so as a follow-up to our first setup, this technique or this tactic has actually been inspired by Tens. He's kind of padding this down, what he calls the lurk attack. So the good news is our lineup is still the same. Look at the mini map. The difference of this setup is our usage of our orb is, if you take a look at our placement here, just freeze frame it so you can get it. What this does is this setup will allow us to actually attack the back of U-Haul. So it remains the same, where we need to, you know, either clear it ourselves or someone has to
Poison orb emitting.
What you notice is the wall is still the same, right? But this orb, what this allows us to do is this allows us to sneak to the back
Toxin screen down.
Sight. When the wall goes down, try to clear this angle and you know, try to either clear this angle or hopefully you don't get spot there. But ultimately what it does is it allows you to get into the back of U-Haul and clear this guy out, and a lot of times people won't expect that. And again, this is brought to you by Tens, and if you just kind of look at the placement where the
poison orb emitting
on top of this box here, and again, if you, what this allows you to do is to sneak through here, which is really unexpected. Hey guys, so we took a look at ways how we can attack or pressure short A. Let's move over to the bathrooms or long A on how we could apply pressure or do a split attack on A. So beginning the round, you want to clear out the bathrooms using any way you can, utility. But this setup actually is very easy because there's this window where we can aim at this yellow triangle. We go ahead and throw our smoke. And take a look where it actually ends up. It's just easily the easiest line.
Poison orb emitting.
Off window here. And in a lot of my setups, I like to use both the orb and the wall. And so to utilize our wall the best way possible is if you can take a look at the mini map, it actually, the line goes over the right corridor of the CT entrance. So go ahead and shoot that line up.
Toxins going up.
For us, blocks off a couple of different key angles coming out of the bathroom. The first being coming out of CT, it actually blocks off heaven, and it blocks off these side angles.
Toxin screen down.
Note, of course, when you're playing Viper, is your wall is not solid, so people can't push you through these. So just keep that in mind. And the final note, what I always like to consider is what does this setup look like for my teammates? So if we're splitting on A, and if I'm the teammate,
poison orb emitting.
Wall, this is what it's going to look like coming up from short. So a lot of these angles are blocked off, so the only thing they really have to worry about is U-Haul, and then you can guys work to try to get a
toxin screen down.
Alright guys, so we took a look earlier on how we can attack A. So let's take a look at way we can apply pressure at B. We'll start off at long B. What I like to do is go into this little corner here, can set up this line. If you take a look at the mini map, what this does, it crosses off the aura. And for our orb, what we like to do is you aim at the little wooden horizontal line coming out. Aim a little bit just to the left of that. What we're going to do is we're going to jump throw. It's just something to know is you want to jump throw quick, not jump then throw, like very delayed. And so what that does is
poison orb emitting.
Off this angle for us here.
Toxins going up.
So when you're coming up here, it blocks off, also blocks off the elbow quarter. So what you, the two angles you have to clear is here.
Poison's off. Toxin screen down.
Hang out behind this little box here. And so when you're coming out, there's just so many angles. And
poison orb emitting.
It just really just helps you close down some of the angles.
Toxin screen down.
And then two you have to worry about because this huge angle here, a lot of people like to, you know, do a cheeky hide here. Plop, but
poison orb emitting.
this completely negates this. Alright, so our final attack is going to be on short B, and this attack has actually been inspired by Tens, and he's been pretty eye-opening in the way he attacks with Viper. So we're going to start off the setup by taking a look at our lineup here. What we're going to do is we're going to fight for hookah control, and once we get hookah, we want to use the orb and we want to throw into this left corner. And so this is a little bit less traditional than your normal Viper setups. In Viper setups, you know, organized plan setups have their pros and cons, right? Because you control which angles you know are going to be exposed. The downside is that it gives the enemy team to rotate. So this concept is a little bit less traditional, but you're kind of almost entering as Viper. So let's take a look at what I mean.
Poison orb emitting.
We get our lineup, and what we do is we actually use our orb and sneak out of our own orb and just come out and push through our orb, and you can kind of
toxin screen down.
Here, and you end up over here. And so it's a little bit different than say Breach or Phoenix, where you know you kind of hard engage. This again is more a sneaky way where you're actually ninjaing through your own orb, and you come out and you kind of get that advantage of either dropping your orb or you coming out of your orb, and people don't really expect that sometimes. So it's a great way to apply pressure at B. Alright guys, so we're moving on to defense on Bind, and this is one of my favorite parts playing Viper. I love playing short A because there's a lot of cool things you can do, specifically shutting down short A. What I like to do is take a look around this little dot here. What I'll do is jump, right click, and I'll actually bounce off the barrier. And it's a great one-way in matchmaking where you're not playing against, you know, super organized teams. It's a great way to shut this down. So begin and start around. What I like to do is start here. You can hear a lot of footsteps, and just check this out.
Poison orb emitting.
And you can just blast people as they come up here. And take a look what it looks like if I'm on the offense, right? If I want to come through here, my screen literally goes green before I can see someone here, right? So we'll wait till we can get gas, and as we're waiting for gas, another really cool thing is to help people on B is look at this, look at my line, just take a look at the mini map. What it does is it actually blocks off hookah, and it kind of blocks off long B as well, and it gives you enough time to set up a wall there. But again, let's just take a look at the power of this.
Poison orb emitting.
This is super strong. You can really see people
poison's
again. But again, the beauty of it is, let's take a look at the different perspective, what it looks like.
Poison orb emitting.
I'm trying to sneak. At this point, I'm being shot at already, right? So if I want to go through, my screen literally goes green before I come out the smoke, you know. So the person with the one-way definitely has a huge advantage here. Another cool one we can do when you're holding A is, in addition to the short A one-way, I'm sure you might have seen this before, but you can actually one-way the entrance to bathrooms. So what you do is you'll get into this corner, you'll aim right above this little notch, and you will right-click, and what it does is it lands above the sign.
Poison orb emitting.
Again, you can see them feats.
Poison's off.
Let's take a look what it looks like from the other person coming out as the
poison orb emitting.
Try to enter the site. You cannot see diddly squat. Your screen goes green, and you're pretty much dead at this point. And then the final note too, if you're anchoring A, the best power position, what I like to call it, is actually behind this box, because it's really safe, and if you're waiting for your teammates to rotate, if you're anchoring, you can really spot from here, you know, you can even take a gunfight if you want to, but more importantly, you can spot where people are coming up. You can spot people here. You can even change the angle to hit them over here, and this works really hand in hand with this smoke here. As you can see, feats over here, see feats over here, and again, this behind this crate is a really strong spot. Welcome to the fourth segment of this video, talking about ultimates and kind of the idea on how to use ultimate effectively to win post plants 1v2 or 1v3. Big picture, what I like to do a lot is to get that first frag because you have the element of surprise, and then immediately move from there and try to play time, right? So what that looks like is, I'll show. This is my favorite spot to plant the bomb. We'll get into this corner, we'll plant it. Just take a notice at the crosshair placement. Go ahead and use it.
Don't get in my way!
One of my favorite spots is to come and hold this angle and hold hookah. So if it's a 1v2 situation, a lot of times someone will come from hookah, someone will come from CT, right? So if you're crouching and holding this angle and someone comes out, it's almost always a free kill. So from their perspective, what it looks like is this, and if they just try to even peep their head, they're just getting shot already, or they're just trying to jump out and they'll die, right? So if it's, let's say it's a 1v2 situation, you get this kill and you know this guy's coming from CT, you can now play the window angle. Play with your smoke integrity. You can go in and recharge it. You can come out and say the guy is fake tapping it. You can even just let it drop, and you can blast him from here. You can even pre-fire here. You can mess around with that. So that's what happens in a 1v2. Say it's a 1v3 and there's just a lot of people, and it kind of goes back to my idea of getting one frag, moving around, playing time, and you're not necessarily trying to go hero mode and triple frag the guy, right? But I'll tell you what, one thing you can guarantee is a high 6 chance is always killing that first guy. So this is almost always a guarantee, and then you always want to move because you know those guys coming from CT or be like, oh, he's under heaven something, or he's under hookah, something like that. So you can move, hide, play this angle. Now you can expect this guy to come from here, and you can even always don't be afraid to move out of your smoke, right? You can even you know, just come out over here, let the smoke drop. This entire time, the time is ticking. The guy's not sure where you are.
My ultimate is ready.
Play the time, you know. Time is always at your advantage, and that kind of just talks about the big picture concept. Again, that's get one frag, move around, and play the time in a 1v3 situation. Here's another great place to use your ultimate, this time on bomb site A. A lot of times this is default, so what we'll do is plant the bomb here, and just notice the placement of the crosshair where we want to use the ultimate.
Don't get in my way!
And again, the same concept applies. It's always looking for that first kill where you have the element of surprise. What I found this angle to be very great. So if someone's coming in from bathrooms, or coming from short, or even coming from, but really any of these angles, holding this angle, you really get the first shot. And so on the idea of getting that first kill and then trying to move around, you have a couple of different options. One, you can, I love playing around boxes with your smoke, like you can hold tight angles like that. And then the really cool thing about this is if you manage to sneak your way into bathrooms, you have the safe spot over here, and if you really wanted to get cool with it, you even have a safe spot over here where your smoke comes down, and if it comes down, it creates more pressure for the opponent team. Oh, where's he planted?
My ultimate is ready.
And you can just blap the guy here and play time. And just play around with it, and I think you'll have a lot of success.